Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. Today is March 3rd, 2022. It is Thursday night. Where are you? You're here. You're listening to Hollywood After Dark. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Army of the Dead, potentially leading the charge on the Oscar fan favorite movement on Twitter. Or is it? The Batman is finally out, and Netflix is defending CUTIES. This time in court. Oh yeah, a lot to talk about tonight. Why don't we dive right the hell on in? Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the show. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late tonight. I had to finish up recording something else, and that took a little bit longer than I thought because, you know how it is. I like to talk. I'm a talker, guys. That's what I do. Anyway, Thursday night. I hope you guys are out tonight watching The Batman. I hope many of you out there have seen it. I hope you're out there. You have enjoyed it. It's kind of getting a little bit of mixed reviews amongst my friend group, but hey, listen. After yesterday, I still have friends, so I think that's a win, regardless of what people think about The Batman. I love the movie. I'm looking forward to watching it again. It's definitely a deep, dark film, but that's okay. That's what we're doing today. Let's take a look here at the chat. And let's see what people are up to here. Miguel, Alejandro, Anaya, Shorts Review says, hello. How's it going? Music Man. Hey, what's up? H. Bart's buddy. How you doing? Science Sea Otter asks, how many people are banned from my channel? Rough estimate. Right now, none. I actually went through and I decided to remove all of the banned channels because there were some people that I think got banned unfairly. I think some people, didn't deserve to be banned, and they were. So I'm okay with that. All right. So Spherical Man here says, so you're going to crank it to the dulcet tones of one, Matt Jarbo. Maybe the dulcet tones, Farmer Jarbo, I guess. Frost Family Takeover here says, Mr. Girl must be happy that Netflix is sticking up for his favorite movie. Man, that's a weird one right there. But yeah, McLeod says, so are we seriously going to be doing this shit again? I don't know what you're referring to there, McLeod. Music Man here says, I might watch it tomorrow night. You should watch it tomorrow night. It's really good. And then let's see here. Rational says, I need to see The Batman again. Frost Family here says, lots of weird reactions coming out of Turning Red, calling it the horniest Disney film. One person called it unapologetically horny. And what I think that they're referring to on that one is the fact that it's about a teenage girl going through puberty. And I think that in essence, like Turning Red is not only a metaphor for the bodily changes that happen when a girl does hit puberty, to where potentially, the good old Aunt Flo comes to town. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. H. Parts here says, Matt making a joke and people treat it like he invaded Ukraine. Yeah, sure. I caught some shit today. One guy was really funny. He's like demanding I take accountability. And I'm like, what does that even mean? I said like it was a dumb joke. Like, what more do you want? And that's the thing. People are emotional about it. And then like they get emotional about it. But thankfully, Ryan Kennel said what he said. And so no one's talking about me anymore. They're all talking about Ryan Kennel, who, by the way, those guys doubled down on that shit today. And his take on the Batman was not just making its way around, on Twitter, which it was picked up by a lot of the Star Wars channels who don't like the Geeks and Gamers crowd. But it was also getting talked about on TikTok and I believe Insta and some other social media sites. So a lot of people have now been exposed to the eyebrowless walking human penis that is Ryan Kennel. So that should be fascinating to see what's going to be going on here. Anyway, am I going to fight that one guy, Phil? No, I'm not going to go fight that one guy, Phil. My God, that was so funny. Oh my God. Let's see. Half of Jarbo's friends are Snyder Knights. The Batman is a hit. I'll hail the Reefers. Not half of my friends. I have a lot of friends that are like not necessarily in this stuff who also aren't. What the fuck is a Snyder Knight? Right? What exactly is that Snyder Knight thing? You know, that's my question there. You never heard that apology? Did you not listen to the stream? Because that's exactly what I said at the end there. I said, that's not what I believe. It was too far, and I apologize. Literally half a second after I finished telling that joke, I apologized. So maybe pay the fuck attention if you're going to come in and run your mouth. Just saying. But why don't we dive into the shit tonight? Because there's a lot to get to. I don't want to spend all night on that one. But here's the thing, guys. As I like to pin out right away, Podio Commentary, youtube.com/Podio Commentary. Great way to get my, these are like, I think it's turning into more or less my reviews of these movies, my thoughts, how they all came together, walking through the plot, giving my take on it. These are all going to be between 30 minutes and like an hour long, depending. I just wrapped up recording the Batman and it's almost done being edited. The only thing I need to do now is like record the intro for it. And then just, do the whole process of getting it out there. And that will be out tomorrow, if not super late this evening. However, it's done. It's a long one. Hope it's good. This movie is difficult to do one on because it's 3 hours long. And I'm trying to remember like intricate details in order to discuss my thoughts on them. And that ended up being a bit of a pain in the ass because on the Wikipedia, by the way, the entire storyline, like all the major beats are there, which is great. But the problem though, is that there's smaller points that is not in that. And it's like parts you kind of need to talk about a little bit. And I was like racking my brain trying to remember. That's one of the problems with this, but still I believe it's a comprehensive breakdown. 47 minutes at this current estimate. It will be roughly about 48, 49 minutes when it's all said and done. So there you go. And that was something to look forward to. If you do like the dulcet sounds of my voice and you want to hear more of that, we can get that Podio Commentary over there at YouTube. Also, if you guys want to support this and Podio Commentary and anything else I do, patreon.com/Matt Jarbo is the best way to do it. It really is the best way to do it. It allows for YouTube to not take their 30%. I will be probably starting an after show hangout that will be for channel members and for patrons of all types, probably in the next week or two. I have to figure some things out time-wise. I don't necessarily like putting things behind a paywall. It's not 100% what I want to do. But unfortunately, I think it's kind of going that direction. So and I don't mean that as a negative, like I still want to do like watch parties and things like that, but I've got to start being forward thinking about the business. That's the reality of it, guys. That's the reality of it. But anyway, let's get into talking about today's news. There's a lot of rapid stuff to get through. A lot of rapid fire stuff here is going to be going on. So why don't we just start off by talking about this first thing here, the Batman. Like I said, the Batman is out today, and a lot of people are going to go see it. So be careful of spoilers if you haven't already. Also, check out the awesome artwork here. I came across this collage of the artwork for the Batman, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. This movie is peak cinema, 100%. It's a masterpiece. I don't know if I'd call it 10 out of 10. I don't think anything really is 10 out of 10. Clearly a 9 out of 10. A lot of people out there, I believe, are going to fall in love with this movie after having seen it the first time. There's a lot to process. There's a lot to dive into. There's a lot to think about. It is not a simple popcorn film. There are layers like an onion. So something there to consider. So if you're looking for something to see this weekend, go see that. That's my pitch. All right. So apparently today we got a lot of news coming out of 20th Century Studios. One thing came out today where they said that they are going to be producing 10 plus movies a year for streaming. And they will release 2 to 3 movies theatrically every single year. All right. Like, that's insane. But that's also, again, where we are right now in regards to the streaming wars. Just the other day, I saw a little report that I didn't touch on. I should have. But just the other day, I saw a report that said that right now, Nickelodeon is remaking Snow Day. Fucking Snow Day is getting a remake right now. What in the ever-loving shit is Snow Day doing getting a remake? Just re-release Snow Day. It was a good movie. You don't need to remake something that is good. I'm sorry, you don't. I'm not a big, I mean, I'll see remakes, sure. But again, it's kind of like not my favorite or preferred thing to do. But the remaking Snow Day. And I think even like 20th Century Studios here is going to end up doing the exact same fucking thing. These people are going to be, remaking things that are going to be cheap. Look at Cheaper by the Dozen. Home Sweet Home Alone. Ice Age, The Adventures of Buck Wild. It's like, oh my God, like, what are they doing? What is going on? I just do not freaking see it. I don't get it. I don't get what they're up to, but I understand that it's like, instead of doing that, and I hope that more of these are original films. Like if you look at what Netflix has coming down the pipeline, whether they're good or bad, they're original, and you can't really fault them for that. Like it's at least trying something. Whereas a lot of these remakes coming out of Disney are just IP cash grabs that are really frustrating across the board. They are really, really frustrating across the board. But let's keep moving on this one. Here we got another thing coming out of 20th Century Studios, a third Hercule Poirot. I can't ever pronounce it. Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, Hercule. I forget the name. Poirot. I'm like French Canadian and I can't fucking say it. But they said here we have a third script written that is a pretty daring shift in genre and tone. It's post-war Venice and an adaptation of one of the lesser known novels. So I think you'll see the mustache again. Well, the thing is, Murder on the Orient Express did really well when it came out. And Death on the Nile got fucked over by a couple different factors. There was the delay from COVID. And of course, there's Armie Hammer's, cannibalist. When he basically was like texting 50 Shades of Cannibalism to his girlfriend. And some of the accusations levied against him, which caused them to kind of like reshift and reorient their marketing to keep him out of the way. But that's largely subsided by now, I think. I don't even think a lot of people are really going to give much of a shit past a year, especially if it's just like accusations and it's not an actual like, hey, he tried to literally eat somebody. If they don't find Armie Hammer with like a human head boiling in a pot on a stove, I think he's okay. It will just take a little bit of time. He'll go to rehab. He'll be like, I had alcohol, substance abuse problems. I went to sex rehab. I've learned to masturbate to normal porn like everybody else, sort of thing. And he'll be back. He's got money and he's talented. And let's be fair, he's affluent. And I don't just mean that with money. I mean, his family are like oil barons. So he's set. Also finding out, because again, a lot of info about Fox today, or 20th Century. Sorry, I can't call it that anymore. It's kind of hard to break the habit, I'll fully admit. But now we're being reassured that Avatar 2 will in fact release this year, and that according to 20th Century Studios president Steve Aspel, it's going to blow people away. You are not ready for what Jim is doing. That's the thing, man. Like, that's the thing is I'm telling you guys right now, right fucking now, do not discount Avatar 2. And I know people, for some reason, every time I bring up Avatar 2, because going forward, the marketing is going to start kicking off here pretty soon. We're 6 months, we're like 9 months away. All right. So you wait until June, whenever we start getting the 20th Century movies, the Disney movies coming out in June, probably going to get the first trailer with Multiverse of Madness. And once that Avatar hype starts to set in, and once they re-release Avatar in theaters, and they remaster it and re-release it in 4K or whatever it is they're going to do with it, that hype is going to build again. The general normie audience that took it to $2.8 billion worldwide is going to come back to Pandora because of the experience. Now, whether or not they still like it after that, I got no fucking idea, but I guarantee you this movie is going to make some serious cash. The Batman here says, but it's going up against Aquaman 2. Yeah, and it's going to destroy Aquaman 2. As excited as I am for Aquaman 2, because I love Aquaman, it's not going to do very well. Anyway, Jess here at the $5 super chat. First one of the night. Thank you very much, Jess, saying Disney is a shell of its former glory. They are not doing much research on fairy tales and want to put money on trusted IP and products. It's a shame. Man, the thing is like, you're right. They are. And a lot of that now with Bob Chapek, because, running the parks, that's what he wanted to do. And now that he oversees everything, that's what they're going to do again. We're going to go through a period of Disney just like turning everything they can into a cash cow, milking at the teat of the very influential fan base of 30-year-olds who've never grown up. Trust me. We all know people that are massively into Disney, more so than they probably should be. Try living in Southern California or being around a theme park. Those people. They flock there. They migrate there like moths to a flame. And Disney knows this. And that's like the backbone of their economy, of their money. When it's like in the off season and stuff. All right. But no, okay. Let's see. Frost Family here says, too bad most normies bash the film because it beat Endgame or call it a ripoff. Avatar is amazing. You know what? I like it, man. I love it. I agree. John here says, I don't know. The story is weak in the first Avatar. Fun movie, but the story is simple, right? The story is simple, but then again, like a lot of stories are ultimately simple. We've also seen the stories multiple times. It really does boil down to, how much like how the story is told, and I'm not trying to go back to the Batman here, but it's kind of what everyone is talking about right now. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the Batman is a story ultimately that you've seen before, but it's the way that it's told. There's like 7 stories you can tell, right? There's like 7 stories you can tell. And so ultimately that's what it boils down to is as, you go into it, it's how they tell these stories, it's how the stories are interpreted. That's where the experience, that's where the individuality comes from. If you want to call it that, I guess. But again, when it comes to James Cameron, it's all about the experience, man. It's all about the experience. Jess here says, a lady is selling her plasma for trips to Disney World so Disney has their fans who have Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, that's true, man. That is absolutely true. I remember reading that article the other day where, your plasma, fuck, dude, that's like, okay. But yeah, there are people out there who want to do that, who absolutely want to do that. Let's see here. Wait, which big influencers covered the Ryan Kindle drama? I didn't see anyone significant cover it. What I'm talking about is it's not like people on Twitter talked about it, not YouTubers that I saw specifically, probably because they don't want to deal with them. But I saw a lot of Star Wars channels, a lot of Star Wars podcasts on Twitter calling it out. Like an insane amount of Star Wars people were really pissed off. More so than I think, like Batman fans. So yeah. Anyway, Dalton here says story and presentation are 2 different things. That's very true. Chile here says, well, some people are selling their plasma to eat. Yeah, that's also true. And, I do delivery driving as like half my income. So I get it, man. You got to do what you got to do to get by. But I'm sorry, if you're selling your plasma to go to Disney World, something ain't right. Like, just get a fucking job there at this point. That's my take. Go get a job there. You know what I mean? Like, no shade. But like, if you're that desperate to go, then go be part of the team. Go join the cast member family. I think that would be okay. So I don't know, man. That's fucking nuts. Anyway, here's one. I saw this today. Titanic 666 is in the works over there at Tubi. This is a horror film that follows passengers on the Titanic 3, a faithful replica of the ship with advanced technology, which sails to the original site of the Titanic wreck, where dark forces from the deep rise to the surface. What the hell? What in the absolute shit is this movie? All right. So like, not only is it like largely insensitive, I would say, given how many people died on the Titanic, largely insensitive, but again, it's happened like over 100 years ago, 110 years ago, as of, I think, next month, as of April, I think it's 110 years. And so, going out there, so it's a faithful replica of the ship with advanced technology, which then travels to the site of the original wreckage for tourism. How would that even work unless you have like, those little like submersive, the little submarines where you can like go down and shit. Like, welcome to the Titanic sort of. I can't do a Jocko Cousteau right now. But yeah, right. Kira here makes a great point. Didn't we already have Ghost Ship? That's true, we did. And that was 2003 when Ghost Ship came out. So yeah, that's kind of like that too. But then it's like dark forces from the deep rise to the surface. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But either way, I am laughing my ass off at it. Who owns Tubi? I forget who owns Tubi. Is that Sony that owns Tubi? No. Fox. This is a Fox property. So you already know it's going to be shit, right? Because 20th Century's over there with Disney. This is Fox. So yeah, that's kind of lame. But anyway, this is, we'll have to watch it and review it, guys. How about that? When it comes out, because it's going to be a streaming movie, we'll have to do a watch party and watch it and then laugh at how utterly terrible it is. Because I feel like if you look right now on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that Ukraine conflict right there. Ukraine officials say nuclear safety at a nuclear power plant is secured following Russian shelling, but the Russians were shelling a nuclear power plant today, trying to disrupt it. And you're like, that's terrible, because the last thing we need is like a reactor breakdown, because they've already taken over Chernobyl, by the way. So why don't we laugh at this very horrible, terrible waste of money idea? Because compared to the alternative, fuck. Here's another one. This one I'm actually really excited for. Cal Penn has been cast in the Disney Plus Santa Claus sequel series. The series follows Scott Calvin as he searches for a Santa replacement on the brink of his 65th birthday. So, I find that to be really interesting. I find that to be really fascinating in regards to how they're going to end out Tim Allen's reign as Santa Claus. Because for one, like the first Santa Claus came out, I want to say like 94. And I really like that one. I like the sequel. The third one's okay. I've watched them again recently because, kids. And they're fun. And so seeing Tim Allen come back to take on the role again, to kind of like finish up everything, is going to be interesting. But here's my question. Because in the first movie, Santa fell off the roof and died. He put on the suit, became Santa. So at the end of this limited series, is Scott Calvin going to die? Are they going to kill Saint Nick? Are they like, because in the third movie, he's got a kid, right? Like, his wife, Mrs. Claus, is pregnant and she's about ready to pop. And so it's like, he's got a kid, and that kid now be about probably like, 15, 20 years older. So now it's like, what are they going to put that kid in the role? Lock him into being Santa Claus? Is it going to be his son, who's probably now like in his 30s? Or maybe at the time, yeah, like 30s and stuff. So it's like, is that what's going to happen? I don't know. Yeah, so Tim Allen is coming back for the limited series. It's just a limited series. It's not going to be multiple seasons. It's just going to end up being a limited series. But it is being showrun by the guy, who did Last Man Standing, which was a great show. So yeah, maybe they will force him into retirement. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, guys. I have no idea what they're going to do. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do this. So let's see here. It's especially weird given how anti-woke Hollywood Tim Allen is, yet Cal Penn, a person of color, becoming the next Santa Claus, if that's the case. Well, not only is he a person of color, he's also gay, recently, I think last year, it came out that he had discovered his sexuality late in life, and then ended up, was marrying his partner, who he met in the Obama White House, and then from there, he's doing this. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're going to do a person of color, gay Santa Claus, but if they want to trigger the right wing, that's how they do it. Queen here asking, was that a fart? No, it wasn't. It was a burp. I'm drinking a carbonated water, and just kind of came out. If it was a fart, I would own up to a fart. I have no problem with that. I'm drinking what is it? Kirkland sparkling water. So that's what happens with that one. Either way, I'm excited for this. I really like the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies. I like Tim Allen quite a bit. I know he's very anti-woke Hollywood, but the thing is Last Man Standing, he was like the only conservative on set. They made fun of liberals. They made fun of conservatives. He understood everything. Everyone got along. There was never any problems on that set, from my understanding. And so reuniting that team is something that I am excited for. So there's that. Let's see here. Let's see. What? Signor couldn't resist taking a shot. I don't know what he said, but okay. He has me blocked, so I literally have no freaking idea. Kira just says Cal Penn is gay. This is news to me, but of course I wish him all the happiness in the world. Yeah. It came out last year. It was kind of not like it was a big story, but it came out last year. And I mean, yeah, good for him, man. Some people discover it later on in life, It's good for him. As long as he's happy, that's all that matters, right? So, all right, let's keep going on here. So this is one that I came across today, and I'm not too happy how I feel about this, especially coming this weekend with the Batman coming out. Obviously, there is a lot of shit that is, people be talking about the Planet of the Apes movies here, right? Dawn and War, and those are excellent films. And now we found out that, Disney picked up the rights to everything from Fox, and they're going to be developing this new one. And I just continue it based on War. Set it a couple hundred years in the future. Don't reboot the franchise. Just keep it in this timeline, because people, I'm telling you, I think people are tired of all the reboots. And I know the Batman being a reboot, it wasn't going to be originally, but that's a whole effing thing. But anyway, this is what we know out of this. According to, again, the 20th Century Studios president, Steve Aspel. This guy was everywhere today, dropping bombs constantly today, saying here that we are expecting a draft very shortly, and it's Wes Ball attached to direct. We hope to go by late summer, early fall. So I'm really hoping that we get to see a good show out of this, a good showing out of this movie. Now, I do I agree with RPK here. I enjoyed the Maze Runner movies, but I'm not sure if I trust Wes Ball. Now, listen, here's the thing, is the first Maze Runner was really good for what they did with that back in 2014. The other two were okay. They wanted to keep it a trilogy. They did the trilogy, and that's great. But if I recall, he was going to be doing that Mouse Guard film that was already in active production when Disney took over and axed it. And actually, Gary Whitta, who was the writer on that movie, was tweeting about that today, of how he's still heartbroken over that film being canceled by Disney. And yeah, man, that's the kind of thing you look at that and it's Disney doesn't want to fuck with the animation that's not theirs. That's really what it boils down to, and that's the unfortunate thing. Too bad they couldn't sell it off to Netflix or something. I think Netflix would do it. So, okay. Oh, you DM'd. Oh, was it about the stupid controversy from yesterday? Let me see here. Let me see. What's he saying here? Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Oh, what's he saying? Hold on. Oh yeah, I did text Lewis the other day. Yeah. Okay, I'll bring this up real quick. I did. I'll talk about this. It's pretty funny, actually. So let me just add this in here. You guys can see it because it's kind of funny. All right, hold on. There we go. So, okay. So I guess Andy took a screenshot of this one. And he says, so he turned on me when he thought I was punching down on a troll who spread lies about me. I disagreed, blocked him from my life. He couldn't stop telling people I was a piece of shit. Always a better moral compass. Now the irony, stop lying and attacking fans. I don't know what is this in reference to? I don't. Okay. And then Lewis, I'd like to also formally ask Matt Jarbo to please stop calling in or texting me. I'm not going to be giving you scoops on movies, so stop asking. All right. So I can actually show you guys what that is without giving away anything. I just said that, hold on, let me just clear this out here. All right. I sent this to him a couple nights ago, and I asked him, just to confirm something, right? I asked him just to confirm something. This is all I said. I said to him the other night, said, hey, Lewis, it's Jarbo. Look, I know we're not in good terms. I was hoping you might be able to answer some quick questions about the Batman. No spoilers. I'm trying to get a couple things answered from people who've seen it. That's it. That's all I said to him, right? I'm not asking for scoops. I'm not asking for info. I literally am just asking him for information. I was looking to get a couple things answered. That is literally it. But look, those guys nonstop play the victim about every little thing. That's all they can do is just yep. That's it. That's all it is. So, yeah, what the fuck is Andy in now? I got no fucking idea. Like, I literally, I got no fucking idea what he's on about. I don't even know the context to that. Is he talking about the whole thing that people were making a big deal out of that was ultimately nothing? I have no effing idea. So if you guys know, like, let me know, because, that's pretty fucking funny, because there's all crybabies. That's all they are. That's Andy. That's Lewis. I was just asking him for something on the side. But again, this is the thing. Lewis is so indoctrinated by Andy that he won't go against his master. That's basically what it is, which is really fucking funny, because I'm pretty certain like Lewis floats Andy like a whole bunch of shit, and Andy only keeps Lewis around because I think Lewis was like loyal to him when Andy was canceled. That's how I met Andy, was through Lewis. So, all right. According to Rational here, Andy had Jamie Lynn Spears' sister-in-law. And I don't fucking care, dude. Like, if you want to milk fucking that whole thing, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking fine. But yeah. Is there a no, I wasn't asking if there was a post-credit scene. I was asking, I was trying to confirm the stuff that, when we were talking about the whole Syl and Mikey thing about the Batman, about the stuff Mikey was saying that I don't believe for a fucking second. I reached out to a couple people who I know had seen it. I know he had seen it because I forgot that we still follow each other on Insta. And so then I reached out to somebody else, and that somebody else got back to me because I talked about that on stream. Lewis never did. So, and I think he's blocked me on Twitter. So how the fuck would I see that that tweet at me or whatever, right? But hold on. What I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking send that clip I'm going to send that shot to him. I'm just going to let's see. I'm going to text him real quick and just laugh at him. So hold on a second. Cause you know what? Fuck it. Fuck him. All right. I'm just selecting it right now. All right. All I said is I just sent him that, and I just said LMAO. There we go. Mikey isn't hiding. I don't know, man. I know that Syl saw the movie. Someone told me that he gave it like a 5 out of 10 or something like that. I tuned in for like 30 seconds to listen to what he was saying. And it was just very surface level. He wanted to hate the movie. Like, that is the reality of it. He'd been shit talking it so much, he wanted to hate it. And so I would argue that all objectivity went out the fucking window. So there's that. Tony here says, Lewis, Lecca, Mikey Sutton, Andy's ignore. It seems a lot of guys turn on you somehow. All right. Well, okay. I can actually touch upon this because I've been thinking a lot about it. I have been. Like I'm an introspective person. People think I'm a dick. I'm a dick on purpose sometimes, but I'm an introspective person. So the thing with Lewis is I met Lewis like right after I got canceled. And Lewis and I were pretty thick as thieves for about 2 years. Like I talked to him on the phone like every single day. We're talking like not just like Facebook messages, but like actual text messages, actual phone calls. For a while, like we were on WhatsApp and whatever, and shit. And like, it was whatever. We talked all the fucking time. Then that whole thing came on in with Max and Andy and Andy being a hypocrite over, like punching down on somebody for being a troll, like trying to like active life ruination shit. You know what I mean? And trying to get his audience to go after this guy. And then Lewis like had backed Andy because Max had called out Andy. But when Max called out Andy, Lewis was on the same stream that Max had used a clip from. And then Lewis was upset because Lewis thought that, Max had like thrown him under the bus because like, the last thing that Lewis doesn't want is he doesn't want there to be like, a bad look or whatever aimed at him. The thing is like, no one would have thought that Lewis was endorsing what Andy was doing. Nobody would have thought that at all, but that's kind of what severed it. And then Andy just went full on like, if you ever criticize me, you're against me. And then they teamed up with Jody, and that's when they started going after Film Gob and calling Film Gob a racist. And they brought Lewis in. There was a 3-on-1 thing. And I talked to Lewis during this time and I gave him crap for it. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing talking to these fucking, like doing this shit? This is stupid. But he just kept going with it because what it is Andy, like, would bring him on and expose him to a larger audience. And I'm going to tell you this right now, like, it hasn't helped Lewis. Yeah, his Nerd Report channel has got like 20,000 subs. It's gone up quite a bit. But like, he still can't get more than like 16, 17 people watching him live unless Andy's there. And it's not to say that he's bad. He's actually a really solid moderator and he knows a lot. He's an intelligent guy and shit, but that's just the truth of it. It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. Mikey got drunk with fame. I'll tell you that right now. Mikey got drunk with fame. And allowed that to be the problem. And trust me when I say other people are aware of that. And it's, like people talk about shit. I don't want to get involved in that crap anymore, man. It's fucking annoying. What was I canceled for? I flagged like a few videos back in 2018 for harassment. And it came out in a really public way. And, on YouTube, you don't do that kind of shit. So I got really fucking, really hit with that one there. All right. What's he saying here? Oh, right. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's what it was. Andy's just a big old bitch. What a fucking asshole. Jesus Christ. Andy did punch down. That's the whole thing with that, man. I knew it. It's like, no. Anyone who fucking actually like listens to the shit that I say, anyone with half a fucking brain knows exactly what I was talking about on that stream the other night. Everyone who listens to me knows what I was talking about. The thing is, the people out there who don't like me, who want to cancel me for being, in Andy's case, Andy is super anti-Snyderverse. And I criticized him for his shit takes. The other guys are super pro Snyderverse and I criticize them for their shit takes. And then when I have a shit take, then there's a dog pile. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the fucking game. You know what I mean? It's all part of the game. It's all performative. It's all nonsense. And that's really what it boils down to. No, I never held anyone at knife point at a church, dude. I saw you bring that up the other night as well. Look, I don't want to ban you, but that was a legitimate fucked up part of my life where I'll be honest with you, man. Since you bring it up and you brought it up, the other night as well, and I ignored it. I went to that church. I left church. I left religion as a result of that incident. I stopped going to church because I was kicked out of church because that girl lied about that incident. That actually pushed me to not want to have kids. And I was very closed off from even getting in other relationships because I didn't know if that was going to happen again. When someone accuses you of sexual assault through violence and you are ostracized from effectively your second fucking family that you'd been going to for 2 years, it ends up being a really hard thing to deal with because I didn't go with my family. My parents aren't religious. I went to it with my friend and his family and started going there on my own. And that girl is a liar. And my story hasn't changed since 1997, but people took that because some asshole in front of 15,000 people tried to place that as an actual fact. It got people to contact Child Protective Services about my kid. Never mind the fact that when this incident happened in 1997, I was 15 and she was 13. I never touched her. I never kissed her. I never held her hand. I never did shit. And I don't care if you want to bring that up as a fucking joke, but don't think I'm not going to sit here and say something about it because that shit legitimately fucked with me when I was 15. And to have it thrown back in my face and have people who I don't fucking know run around and claim that I'm a pedo, that I assaulted a child, that's not something to fucking joke about. Seriously. I'm not even fucking kidding you. Anyway. All right, let's move on. All right, and we come on to this topic of all fucking things. All right. So, a couple of years ago, or was it last year? I forget, man. I feel like there's been controversy after controversy after controversy. Netflix put out this movie called Cuties, or Mignon, I think as it's called in France. And a lot of people in the United States did not care for this movie. I did not care for this movie. I saw the trailer. I thought that was enough. I never bothered to watch the actual movie. There was a clip that was floating around when the thing first dropped. That was more than enough for me to go, no, thank you. I didn't even make it through the whole thing. I find it to be just, not for me. That being said, does it constitute as child pornography? Some people say yes. Some people say no. There's a case going on right now because one particular person is trying to make that case in Texas, and Netflix is fighting back. And that's crazy shit. Anyway, so according to this, it says backed against the wall, Netflix wants a Texas district attorney stopped from hitting the streamer with child pornography charges over the coming of age drama Cuties. Saying here that Netflix brings this complaint to enjoin Tyler County District Attorney Lucas Babin from abusing his office and infringing Netflix's constitutional rights. They said this in a statement or in a complaint for injunctive relief filed today. Saying here, this one prosecutor out of all of the prosecutors in America has indicted Netflix not once, but 5 times. Each indictment violates the United States Constitution and comes in retaliation against Netflix exercising its First Amendment rights to free speech and to petition the government for redress. Saying here that enough is enough. And that is where things are very interesting with this entire thing. Where this is where, again, like it's kind of it's a hard subject to talk about, because what you have is a movie that at its core is about rebelling against an oppressive religion, which is Muslim in this case, Islam. And in regards to that, you get the dancing. And it's like, it's like, why? But the movie came and went in France, no problem. The movie came and went to Sundance here in the States, no problem. And it wasn't until they renamed it CUTIES, which I think is just the fucking worst name ever. And then they put that poster, that box art, where like the kid, they look uncomfortable, and you're like, oh my God, that like what emotion is that meant to invoke? It's not going to be a good emotion. It's going to be a gross emotion, like it's, but maybe that's kind of the point. The point is that it's meant to feel exploitative. I've personally said for a long time, I view under college age cheerleaders as almost like child exploitation. I'm not a fan of that at all. I've never been a fan of that. I find it to be morally repugnant in the positions of which they place those girls. And it's like, come on, like this is like their kids. What are you doing? And then I see something like this and I kind of look at it the same way. It's like, it's very not good. But then again, just because I believe that doesn't necessarily mean that it violates any kind of legal statute. And that is where we currently are with the situation. This Texas district attorney, Lucas Babin, has slammed them 5 times over CP charges. And he's trying to get them in trouble for this. And it's like, after you lose the first 4, I'm assuming, I haven't read the full thing yet, but I'm assuming after you've kind of at least gotten past the first 4, he might learn that this is something that is, that is not good. But then my question then becomes, is this an election year? What exactly is the religious makeup of the county that he is the district attorney of? There's that. And, Music Mania says the ads are what did it for this movie. Yeah. Dalton here says, honestly, CUTIES is more tame than certain other films. Still, Netflix fucked this up. Lord Slug here says a Serbian film is fucked up. A Serbian film is fucked up. Yeah. I've seen some clips from that, and that's a movie that I'm okay with not watching. I'm okay with definitely not diving into that one. Because it's perfectly fine to not to not do that. I'm okay. I'm okay with not going into that movie too much. It is an election year in Texas, so that would make sense. That makes sense. If he is up for re-election, then you can kind of see what's going to be happening here. However, look, if the movie came out and there wasn't like mass panic, there wasn't widespread, protests about it. There was a lot of online crying, and we know that online crying doesn't really result in anything. And, no one really took it IRL. No one attacked the Netflix headquarters. So the question then becomes, was this controversy overblown? And when it comes to some things on the right, when people like to take this stuff and they run with it, when there's really no bearing for a lot of it. By the way, I mean, look at Pizzagate as a prime example. Fringe right-wing media claimed that there was a child sex dungeon underneath a pizzeria in Washington, D.C. It got people so riled up. One dude went there with a gun looking for it, didn't find it, fired off a round or 2, I think, trying to get people out, and then tried to search for to rescue the children. And I think he recently got out of jail because he got sentenced to 4 years in federal prison. So it's people will react to this kind of hyperbole, especially involving kids. So, I mean, there's that. There's definitely that. Let's see. Lord Slug here says Texas is going to hell, especially with that POS governor. It's a piece of shit. Ronaldo here says, I haven't seen the movie and I won't ever do it. Yeah, neither will I. I have no desire to see it. I have no desire to see it, but does it violate First Amendment rights? does it violate that? That's the question you have to ask yourself, right? Emotional response aside, does it violate? Dalton here asking, have I watched Rocky yet? No. Actually, let me tell you guys about last night real quick. So before we get into the final topic of the night. So last night, as soon as I was done with the stream, I wrap it up. I go to the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom and I hear a gunshot, right? And I live in the woods. I live in the woods on a dead end road, and I hear a gunshot. And it's not illegal to fire guns out here, but when you're hearing a gunshot on a what was it last night? A Wednesday night at midnight, roughly a little after midnight, it's a little fucking peculiar. So I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, should I go outside and check it out? Should I go outside and make sure like no one's injured or like my car is okay? I don't know. Were they taking a shot at my house? Like, I'm a little paranoid, not to say that people would like do anything, but I was getting a lot of threats yesterday. So you have no idea. And I opt to like not do it. But then I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go sit in bed and I'm just going to like play Elden Ring. And I'm just going to have the volume real low and I can hear everything outside. And, cause like at one point too, also, by the way, like we have a side door to the garage and I undo the alarm and I open the door and I don't have the lights on. So I can just listen if anything's out there. I swear to fucking God, I hear something moving. I don't know if it's the trees. I don't know if it's like an animal. Cause woods, we have like, shit out there at night. I can't tell. I'm just hearing something kind of walking around. And I'm like, nope, lock the door, like, go back. And then I literally get 10 minutes into Elden Ring and my fucking internet goes dead. Right. And the cell service ain't great where I live. It can work, but like it's very minimal. And I'm sitting there for like the next hour and a half, like just in bed, no internet. So I can't play Elden Ring. I can't play any of my Xbox games because what the fuck? I can't watch YouTube. I can't watch Netflix. I can't surf Twitter. I can't do nothing. I have an Instapaper app where I just save a bunch of Wikipedia articles. So I was just sitting in bed reading Wikipedia articles for like an hour, just listening to see if anything else was going on. And then it didn't happen. Like nothing happened. I went to bed. But it was crazy, man. Yeah, Bigfoot at it again. Yeah, that was my night last night. That was really weird. Deer on deer crime in Jarbo's first neighborhood, probably. No, I cannot play. No, I tried playing Elden Ring offline. I tried playing Cyberpunk 2077 offline and it would not let me do it. I was really pissed off. Fucking goddamn always online, man. It's stupid. Lame ass shit. Anyway, so that was my night last night. Let's get into the final topic of today. It's been an interesting day. So right now, this popped up on Business Insider saying that the movies leading the Oscars Twitter vote for Fan Favorite Award ranked according to exclusive social data. Here's the thing. To vote in the Oscar Fan Favorite, you have another 29 minutes from right now. All right. You have another 29 minutes for right now to go on Twitter and like voice your love for whatever. You have, you can go to their website and you can do it on their website. I think it's OscarFanFavorite.com. Here, I'll just bring this up real quick. All right. So you can bring it to OscarFanFavorite.com and you've got until tonight to do it, right? You can vote. I've already voted for this. I don't care about the cheer moments, but it says here, movie lovers unite, make your voice heard this Oscar season by voting in this year's fan favorite for a chance to win a trip to the 95th Oscars and voting on the cheer moment top 5 to win a movie lovers prize pack. This is their whole thing in order to get you to watch the fucking Oscars. Here's the thing. Everyone on Twitter is just going to listen to see what wins on Twitter. Like, that's it. Like, no one's going to like tune in to go like, we polled people on Twitter and we polled people on the website to vote for their fan favorite because this, you can vote on this, right? And here's what it is. Put your favorite movie in there, you put your information in, and there's that. Like that's all it takes. So this is where when you've got, oh, by the way, I do want to like show you guys this right here, right? This is the fan favorite stuff. I see if I can find it. Okay. I gotta see if I can find the morality clause. Okay, partial incomplete. Okay, website. Hold on, sorry guys, I'm trying to find this one here. Content guidelines. Okay. All right. So in addition to complying with all of the requirements, these official rules in Twitter, each sweepstakes entry must not contain any content that sponsor determines in its sole discretion, profane, obscene, disparaging, or is otherwise inappropriate, objectionable, infringes on the intellectual property or property rights of any third party, with the sole exception of the name of one's fan favorite movie, or is unsuitable for the uses contemplated in these official rules. Meaning, if you tweet something that is like, yo, man, fucking hashtag Army of the Dead, fuck Spider-Man No Way Home, that's going to kind of disqualify you. Okay. So, I'm trying to find it here. If they have the, disqualified. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me see here. Fucking type. Okay. All right. So sponsor, here we go. Okay. Sponsor reserves the right to, in its sole discretion, to disqualify a potential winner if the results of a background check reveal that such potential winner is not eligible to participate in the sweepstakes or has been convicted of a felony or a crime of moral turpitude as determined by sponsor in its sole discretion. So you have to, you cannot have been convicted of a crime, of a felony or a crime of moral turpitude. So what exactly is moral turpitude? Let's look this up here. So it says that moral turpitude is a phrase that describes wicked, deviant behavior constituting an immoral, unethical, or unjust departure from ordinary social standards such that it would shock a community. In criminal law, the sorts of criminal activity into categories of crime either involving or not involving. Okay, anyway, what are some examples of moral turpitude? Murder, voluntary manslaughter, felony hit and run, spousal abuse, child abuse, drug crimes, cruelty to animals, and kidnapping. That is what that boils down to. Does Mercury equating 9/11 to Man of Steel disqualify him? I don't think so. That's just a crime against humanity, but it's not one that's convicted. So there's that. I don't know, man. Like they're going to be looking through everybody on this shit. It's going to be really fucking funny. That's all it is. Anyway, going back over to this, what you have is, so you've got Business Insider talking about how Army of the Dead is in the lead. That's what they're saying here. So it says audiences are voting on their favorite movie of 2021 on Twitter by tweeting the title along with the hashtag Oscar fan favorite and sweepstakes, or by filling out an online form. It's still unclear whether the fan favorite movie will be awarded the iconic statuette on Oscars night on March 27th, but the winner of the contest is expected to be announced during the televised ceremony. Social media analytics company Diesel Labs is provided Insider on Thursday with data to predict the potential winner of the contest by analyzing tweets mentioning the two hashtags since the contest began last month. Saying here that the analysis doesn't include data from Thursday, so today, which is the final day that the public can vote on this award. It also does not account for votes submitted through the Academy's online form. But the 5 movies that Diesel Labs found to be in the lead were also on the Academy's own leaderboard for the fan favorite award, and it provides a good idea of what could be named the winner. Through Wednesday, with 1 day left to vote, Zack Snyder directed zombie action movie Army of the Dead was in the lead, followed by Amazon Prime Video's Cinderella. So the cool thing about that is that with, because remember, like you had all the Camilo Cabello, whatever the hell her name is, fans come on out, right? They were coming on out and they were mass spamming that. So a lot of people were talking about that. But then you also had the Army of the Dead fans coming out today and doing that as well. And by the way, I support Army of the Dead above Cinderella, like 100%. But I don't think that it's going to win. I just don't see that happening. And I say that because of the OscarFanFavorite.com. When they took it off of Twitter and they put it onto another website where you could vote, this data analytics does not take that into account. This does not take that into account at all. And we have zero way of knowing how well that is done. Right? We have zero way of knowing. So that's pretty funny in my opinion. But the other part of this too, this thing down here at the bottom, and this is going to kind of lead us into another kind of a little conversation, says that Snyder's other movie released last year, HBO Max's Zack Snyder's Justice League, is ineligible to win Fan Favorite Award because it's not among the list of Oscar-eligible movies from 2021 that was released by the Academy, which I do think that, by the way, is so stupid. I really do. The Snyder Cut is an amazing movie. All right. The cultists aside, I still fucking love that goddamn movie. So there's all that, right? Like all of that childish nonsense aside entirely. So we have that situation. Now, this is why this is interesting. Because last night, if you guys recall, for those of you guys who listened last night, there was a whole moment when we were talking about the what people viewed as the top streaming film of 2021, right? Of some of the, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, according to this Hollywood Reporter article, said that it was at number 4. And if you guys are watching this last night, I had said, that's sus. I'm like, that's sus. That's sus to me because where do they get the data from? Is this a Samba TV thing? Is this like somebody else? We have no idea. That's a little sus to me. And so it came up today in conversation, to be honest with you guys. It came up today on Twitter. You've got, here we go. Geralt of Snyderverse. Sorry, this is out of order. I'll come back to this. But Geralt of Snyderverse here had said, so per Variety, Zack Snyder Justice League is the 4th most watched movie of the year. Let's guess the top 4. Red Notice, Don't Look Up, Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Well, here's the thing with that. Army of the Dead, if I recall, only got like 78 million. Didn't Army of Thieves get like 72 million or something? Just looking at the general numbers, our Army of Thieves would actually rank higher than that, right? And then going back over to this, talking about HBO Max. The Suicide Squad is the second biggest HBO Max release behind Mortal Kombat. And this was August, so before Matrix Resurrections, which did not register that well. All right. It did really well. We know that the Suicide Squad did very well on HBO Max. And we know that it's only gotten bigger since Peacemaker came out because that was, according to many different reports, the most in-demand new show on HBO Max. Euphoria beat it because Euphoria is on both HBO Max and HBO. Now keep that in mind because you had Jack McBrien here, who was the co-founder of The Direct, and he challenges Isan here. He challenges Geralt in this line of thinking. Remember, this line of thinking right here is the cult. This is the cult of people, right? Oh, let's guess the other 4. But people are out there kind of trying, people out there think this kind of shit's real. 200 retweets. I mean, come on. Now he says here that line from Variety is being misinterpreted. Variety means that Zack Snyder's Justice League was the 4th most streamed movie on HBO Max, which they likely extrapolated by looking at this HBO Max daily sign-up chart. And the thing is, look at that. You can see here that right there, Wonder Woman 84 release December at the end of this December 25th, right there. And then, this is August 2020. We could assume this one right here would be around like March. Maybe this is March, right? Maybe this is March right here, where you've got the, what was it? Zack Snyder's Justice League, Godzilla versus Kong, Mortal Kombat. And then what came out in June? I forget. I don't know what that peak is right there. But, the Friends reunion was pretty huge. Godzilla v Kong was huge. Mortal Kombat was huge. And Zack Snyder's Justice League was not as big up front because the numbers weren't there. But again, let's talk about that Euphoria thing. All right. because this is what Jack brings up as well. He says here, 2021 streaming sub count, Netflix 222 million worldwide, Disney Plus 130 million worldwide, HBO and HBO Max combined $74 million. HBO Max's numbers are likely significantly lower than 74 million, maybe even less than half of the combined. That is true. It's not available in every region yet. And there are more people who have HBO subscriptions. So the people who are watching Euphoria on both HBO Max and HBO, which by the way, it did better on HBO Max. I think 80% of the total viewership was on HBO Max. That's what Jason Kilar was saying earlier today. But that extra 20% going from around the globe on the HBO, core subscriptions is what's going to put it over the edge. So it says here that there's a 0% chance any Max exclusive movie can compete with the top Disney Plus and Netflix. And that is true. And that's even backed up further by this is the 2021 top 15 streaming movies as showcased by Nielsen, who, as much as I'm not a big fan of everything involving, Nielsen or Samba TV or whatever, I would love it if these companies would release the actual data. We can see here that according to Nielsen, Luca was the most watched original film of 2021. I've watched that movie so many fucking times because my kids love it. I love it too. Then you got Moana, Raya and the Last Dragon, Frozen 2. Okay, like Raya came out March of 2021, Luca June of 2021. Red Notice was November, did very well for November release. Soul came out Christmas Day 2020. Cruella came out May, I think, or something. No, it was like mid-July, I think, was 2021. Mitchell versus the Machines was April of this last year for Netflix. Jungle Cruise was July. Black Widow was, 45 days later. I think it was September? Somewhere in there. I mean, The Tomorrow War, Coco, We Can Be Heroes on Netflix, and Avengers Endgame. What we can see here is the fact that Snyder Cut isn't on any of this stuff. Because Disney Plus says Netflix says 222 million worldwide subscribers. Disney Plus says 130 million. Amazon hasn't officially released the numbers, but they've hinted that because of their Prime service, that they've got upwards of 200 million subscribers, which is only going to go up, I think, once the Lord of the Rings show hits. And HBO Max still has not been able to tap that much. So the reality of it is, as sad as it is to say, as really sad as it is to say, there is no conceivable data that is available outside of manufactured and wish fulfillment, all things considered, that would say Zack Snyder's Justice League has really a shot at making it in the top 15 or 20 even of the most streamed films of 2021. That is not at all talking about its quality or its legacy or the fact that it's made. We're just talking about pure numbers and pure data. And that is what a lot of people tend to overlook. It's what a lot of people tend to just not think much about. They don't want to think about the fact that this movie that they've wrapped their identity around, that this movement that they've wrapped their identity around is not as big as they think it is. And that's okay. That's okay, guys. That's okay. That's absolutely all right. It doesn't always have to be this way. It doesn't always have to be as big as you want it to be. But there is a level of delusion there. And I think the more you look at just the data, I mean, even looking at home video sales, Wonder Woman 84 and the Suicide Squad have outsold the Zack Snyder's Justice League through NPD data. Now, NPD data, if I recall, doesn't show, obviously there's VOD sales. We don't know how well the movie did overseas. We have no idea. It did well in Canada on Crave, and it did well, I believe, in the UK, but again, Canada, 34 million people. The UK doesn't have, what's the population of UK? Not of Ukraine. 44 million. All right. By the way, good luck, Ukraine. 67.22 million people in the UK. So it's like, there's a lot of people, but not as much as the United States. So there's that. Yeah, RPK here says Amazon subscriber numbers are shady in my opinion. Sign up for Prime for free shipping and it counts as a subscriber to Prime Video, which they may not even use. Like I said, that's what they've kind of put out there, but I don't know how true that is. Guys. So it is what it is on that one. We don't really have much of an idea. So, this is all stuff that they tell us, but a lot of this stuff that we see on social media out fucking right doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? It just doesn't mean a goddamn fucking thing. So, it's just people look, and I get it. People want to see it. They want it to do well. They want it to kick ass. I totally get that. I hope one day we find out more that it did. I hope one day they actually, look, here's the thing. What I would do is I would ask Jason Keelar on his way out the door to release that data on Zack Snyder's Justice League as like a parting gift. But the problem though, is that so many people, every time Jason Keelar tweets anything, they attack him. Every time they attack him. So it ends up being this thing where it's like, all right, whatever, So yeah, it is what it is on that one there. I don't really have much else to go on tonight. If you guys have any quick questions, we can take a look here at the chat for a few minutes. I'll probably wrap it up in the next 10. So let's see here. Kira says Disney has all their back catalog. That's true. And their back catalog does get a lot of play. That's why it'd be very interesting to see what happens with the new parental controls. I'd be very interested to see there. Let's see. Lord Slug here says, but Grace said Peacemaker wasn't a hit because some episodes didn't trend on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, look, man, Twitter ain't real life. You know what I mean? Like, Twitter isn't real life. You've got a lot of people who use it. I think it's like over 400 million now. It's gone up a little bit. But how many of those accounts are fake? How many of those accounts are bots? How many of those accounts are just like, when you get an account suspended, does that, and you create a new one, or if you have like 10 different accounts, whereas like Facebook has got 2 billion unique people using it a month. YouTube has 2 billion unique users every single month. It's like, there's a lot of people that use these platforms that are largely bigger than Twitter. But Twitter, because it's so easy to talk about. I mean, like, look, a lot of the images I grabbed tonight were from discussing film because they summarize everything into a good, digestible piece of information. And it's a good resource. And I respect the work that they do. So there's that. Let's see. Rational here says, I hope Army of the Dead wins more exposure for Zach. I do too, man. I don't see it winning. I just don't see it winning. Not one bit. It's going to be Spider-Man No Way Home, man. Like, because Spider-Man No Way Home is the favored one to win. And again, this is all just a popularity contest. So they have no legal obligation to hold to what the people are voting for. There's literally like nothing there. That will happen with that. Zaquan here says, do you still go pick up boulders? Sure, I guess. I don't know. I deliver people's food. That's where I make most of my money. So, it's all good. Kira asking, is the Snyder Cut still available on HBO Max? Oh yeah, dude. 100%, man. 100%. Will the Ayer cut ever come out? I think we're getting closer to potential on that one. Because sorry, I saw Benson's message. I'll bring it up here. It's goddamn it, Benson. He's been hinting at a lot of stuff, and I think Margot Robbie is getting closer to being done with the character. I really do. I feel like she's getting done with being with the character, and once she's done, I think then we're gonna get it. Because for right now, while she's in control of the character, she probably doesn't want the portrayal of Harley Quinn as a victim or as being a tortured damsel sort of thing, to go out there and to, destroy the work that she did with not only Birds of Prey, but Harley Quinn. And I think a lot of fans that would like to see that story, with how she became Harley Quinn how she became as crazy, but they've toned her down quite a bit for both Birds of Prey and for Suicide Squad. And I think that that's a lot of Margot Robbie's influence. So again, if you want my honest opinion, that's the reason why. I have no idea if it's true or not. David Ayer probably won't say a word about it, but you can tell that he really wants to put out this portrayal of the Joker. But that included a lot of torture on Harley Quinn. And, you know, I can see Margot Robbie not wanting that to get out there and not wanting it to be seen by other people to protect the image that she has worked hard to maintain. That's my take on it, at least. So thank you. RPK here says, doesn't the parental controls kind of contradict the main selling point of Disney Plus that it's safe for the whole family? Well, I mean, you know, Netflix has it too, man. You know, Hulu's got it. Amazon's got it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. A lot, like actually a fair amount of people who subscribe to Disney Plus are single people, like single adult households. So, you know, it doesn't really contradict it. It just is what it is. Benson here says, you know, public vote awards can't be taken seriously when associate producer wins Song of the Year. You know, I mean, sure. I think that associate producer was a fine song. You know, I think Enoch put a lot of work into it. And I think for what Max was trying to do, you know what? Hey, good on him for winning it. You know, some people won that award and, you know, they have held on to that for quite some time. What can I say? What about the Schumacher cut? I think that's got a better chance of coming out than the Ayer cut, if I'm being honest with you. For one, Joel Schumacher is dead. And two, it's been over 25 years. So I don't think anyone's going to give a shit, to be honest with you. Rational here says, what if Rebel Moon gets nominated for Best Picture? I think it'd be cool, man. Right? You know, I mean, I think that'd be pretty cool. If it's a good enough movie for it, sure. Why not? Thoughts on the Firefly suit and Batgirl? I haven't seen it. Oh, pardon. I have not seen it yet, so I don't know what it looks like, but I'm sure it looks pretty cool. And if Mladenir says, and Hillary was favorite to win, but with a surprising twist, Trump won. Sorry, I just had to throw it out there. Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing, man, is the Academy is not bound to the Electoral College. So, you know, there's that. Let's see. Zaquan says, I just saw a clip of you strangling this white guy. Do you know the reference? Yeah, bitch owed me money. No, it's from a movie I made. It's from a fucking movie I made, man. That's all. That's all it is. Let's see here. Benson says, I'd like to see Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be okay with that. Rational here says, will we ever get a 4-hour version of the Batman? No, and I hope not, because I feel like the movie is really good. And to make it longer, you'd have to have a really good reason to do it. You know, I think you have to have a really, really good reason to make it longer. So if you don't do it. 3 hours is good. It's a compelling story. It's really solid. That's that. And Lord Slugger says, and Jarbo to thank for Trump. Yeah. I guess there's a book. It's always, you know, not everything that's written down is true, by the way. Kira here says, do you think RDJ might ever return for a cameo in the Spider-Man follow-up sequels? No. I do think that Robert Downey Jr. is done for right now. I mean, it's entirely possible that they might say, hey, let's, you know, like they might throw just a dump truck full of money at him and get him to come back. But I don't think that's the case, man. I think he's done. I really do. I think he's done. I think he's, you know, do the 10 years, take the several $100 million that you made off of this. You're set for life. Your kids are set for life. Your grandchildren are set for life, you know, and go work on other crap. Where the fuck is Sherlock Holmes 3? God damn it. That's what I want to see. Taylor here says Oscars as usual are broken. No Bell nominations for best song. Dude, did they pay the money to run a campaign? Right? Like, did they do that? Because that's how this works, Taylor. If they, you know, they drop the money for your consideration campaign, they'll be okay. But, yeah, I know. Mo Moon here for $2, buddy. Thank you. Says my offer to fight you in your stead is still on. Oh, you're offered to fight in my stead. Yeah, because that guy wanted to fight me. I mean, if you're in Cali, he's in Cali. I mean, you guys can go fight. I'm fine with that. Benson here says, has somebody told Sleepy Joe yet that they are Ukrainian and not Iranian? Yes, he knows the difference. Do you believe the rumor that in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, Kingpin will be in it and Miles Morales and Black Cat? Kingpin does seem to make sense. I don't think we're going to get Miles Morales, and we might get Black Cat. We might get that. Rational here says we need a sequel to Scanner Darkly. Hell yeah. Complete with more Alex Jones, which, by the way, the reason why Alex Jones is in A Scanner Darkly is because both him and Richard Linklater are from Austin and they know each other because it was a small community for a while. That's why Alex Jones is in it. I wonder what Linklater has to say about that now. RDJ here, or Lord Slucker says RDJ is out. Tom Cruise is in. I've heard those rumors too, man. I've heard those rumors as well. Don't know how true it is. Let's see here. Kira says, I had a conversation with a British friend who hated his Welsh accent in Doolittle. Look, man, a lot of British people don't like it when Americans do a British accent. You know, whether it's like, you know, Welsh or Cockney or, I don't know, like flamboyant. You know, I got no idea. I go over the top. With it and I laugh at it because like, I'll do it like right there, right. You know, and like Benson's always like, you sound like a chimney sweep, you know? And then I'm like, well, yeah, kind of, you know, I mean, like I'll work on it a bit. Right. I mean, I practice. I do. I actually practice quite a bit. I practice in the car. Let me just get a drink here. I do. I really want to like work on my British, you know? It's I like accents. I feel like I'm naked. Like I don't have an accent. I know I have the West Coast American accent or dialect really, but I don't feel like I have a dialect. So I like to, you know, I feel it's a bit more on the, you know, like, how do I say it? Like it's, you know, it's like, it's a good thing, right? These days, you gotta put a little bit flair in your voice, you know, let people out there know who you are, kind of. It's not that great. I can do like, I gotta get in the mood for it. Anyway, let's see. Do we need a tiny Iron Man? Sure. Why not? All this talk of actors returning in director cuts. Why does nobody ever mention restoring the Snyderverse? Oh, and not here. I can direct you to people live right now who would do that. Rational asking, would I be open to the idea of having celebrities on HWAD? Absolutely, man. And hopefully one day I'll be able to actually have the time to start reaching out and setting that up. I've jokingly suggested to my girlfriend, like, I'm like, I need a fucking assistant. She's like, what the fuck? You know, I'm like, I just need someone to like do correspondence because I'm lazy. Anthony here says, Matt, do you think Sony could use Disney Plus to have Spider-Man villains as a series or movies? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely do. I believe that I believe that's the plan. H Bars here says, people say us Michiganders have an accent, but I don't hear it either, man. I don't hear it either. I don't hear your accent like when you talk. You know, if you were like a little bit, you know, over there by Wisconsin and you're like, okie dokie artichoke, that might be a little bit different. So Quan, you're asking, do I have an iFunny account? Not that I recall. Maybe. I don't, maybe a long time ago. I don't know. I don't know. Benson asking, would Bailey J be your first guest? No. No. I'm really not that familiar with their work, Benson. I believe you probably know more about it than I do, buddy. I don't. I really don't. Kira asking, what's my favorite Bruce Willis film? I mean, I don't mean to sound cliche. All right. But it's fucking Die Hard, dude. Like, it's fucking Die Hard, man. I do love The Last Boy Scout. I really enjoy that one. I think Shane Black's writing with Bruce Willis was really good because they can kind of, you know, he can make it work. Plus also Damon Wayans and Halle Berry in that movie too. Halle Berry before The Nose Job, by the way. You know, I think Bruce Willis has been in a lot of good movies. You know, like there was Last Man Standing was really good. That was a solid one. I think was that a Walter Hill movie? There was, oh man. A lot of movies that he's been in. I like Bruce Willis. You know, but lately he's just kind of gone off the fucking deep end, man. He does more movies a year than fucking, like, you know, he used to like headline. Bruce Willis has a new movie coming out. And then people would go see a new Bruce Willis movie. And now it's like Bruce Willis is Nicolas Cage without the indie support. Because Nicolas Cage just does whatever he wants and people like it. Bruce Willis just plays kind of the same character and like no one cares. I mean, I believe there's even like a Bruce Willis and Megan Fox movie that just recently came out. How weird is that? Anthony here says, so the Amazon Spider-Man series never coming to Amazon. I don't know, man. At this point, I don't quite know. I don't quite know. Amazon, I think, like, if you want my honest opinion, they're going to end up going they're going to end up going another way with it. Probably. To me, that makes the most amount of sense. It does. All right, let's see here. In this era of woke and knee benders, could you see a White Chicks 2 being made? Only if the Wayans did it, man. I love White Chicks. That movie's so fucking funny. No love for Hudson Hawk. Simon, Hudson Hawk is a good movie, but it was a financial bomb. You know, it was a Bruce Willis passion project that kind of went like, no, I like that movie. It's bonkers. It is so fucking bonkers, but it is a weird movie, you know. Tony, yeah, I heard about that. Kevin Smith apparently thinks that Bruce Willis is an asshole after having worked with him. I believe they have sorted that out. You know, I think they've sorted that out. So it's like, you know, I think it's okay. Spherical Man here also is a Hudson Hawk fan. I mean, dude, Danny Aiello was great in that one. Who was it? It's not Hugh Laurie, but it's the guy from, jeez. What's his name? He played Old Man Loki, right? He played, in, you know, I know it is Richard something or another, but like Sandra Bernhard, fucking, man, that movie had a lot of people in it. Andy McDowell, you know, like that movie was weird. You have to give me props for mentioning Les Boy Scout. I did love that movie. Where is the Green Lantern series that cast 3 people in it? The shows, I don't fucking know, man. I don't even know. Because that's the whole thing. It's like they've, you know, I don't think Berlanti is going to be doing a lot with HBO Max. Because the movement is all on James Gunn stuff. And then also now like the 3-4 shows in development with Matthew Reeves off the Batman. I just feel like the Berlanti side of things has kind of like run its course. Like I just, that's what I see. I think Doom Patrol might be kind of wrapping up. Titans, I know they're in production right now on season 4. But that could also be towards the end of that one. What's the secret to my weight loss? It's called Angles. You know, I was doing intermittent fasting for a while where I wouldn't eat between the hours of, like 5 PM and 9 AM. So I would, you know, not do that. And, that helped out quite a bit, but I've been trying to like drink more, like soda, or I'm trying to not drink soda. I don't drink soda very often. Mostly I just drink water and I have caffeine every day. I have a Rockstar. And then, I just, you know, I've been really trying to like watch a lot of what I eat. And, but really for me, exercise is what I'm not doing. I got to do more of that. So let's see here. Finn Whitrock said in an Instagram post, he's going to start training for the series soon. That's cool. H-Bar said, Zach is coming back for HBO Max as official. Shut up. Where does Riddler rank on the comic book movie villain list? I would say he ranks up there pretty high because he was kind of menacing. For everything. I don't have a definitive list though, to be honest with you. Richard E. Grant, that's who it was. He was great in that too. All right. Gene, what's my favorite Gene Wilder film? Yours is Silver Streak. I mean, like, come on, man. Can you classify Blazing Saddles as a Gene Wilder film? I know he's in it as like this, as like the second lead. But you know, I mean, come on. I love Blazing Saddles. Of course, there's like, you know, Charlie, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I got the name titles mixed up. Yeah, there's like Willy Wonka and a bunch of great movies he was in. So I don't know about the J.J. Abrams stuff, man. Like, it's been a couple years and they haven't done anything with J.J. Abrams, coming off of Rise of Skywalker. So I'm just kind of assuming that maybe they're just kind of biding their time. We will have to wait and see what exactly is going to be happening. And again, who freaking knows, man? Who freaking knows what's going to go on with all that? JJ might just ride out that contract, because that might be the best course of action for him. It would be just to ride out that contract, and then go back to Disney, because he seems to get more stuff done when it's with Disney. Oh yeah, Young Frankenstein. That's right. That's another good one. The producers, look, man, fucking Mel Brooks is the shit. Mel Brooks is the shit, guys. How do we solve gas going up? We don't, because we're not in control with it. We have no control. Stop buying it. That's how it goes up, man. That's how you stop from going up. We'll lead here for $5 or for $2 New Zealand. Thank you, buddy. The final trailer for The Batman ruined the movie. Did it? I saw it, man. But I didn't, I didn't remember it, to be honest with you. So, I just don't remember it enough to where I thought it ruined the movie. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know there was a bit where he fought someone with a gun, but I watched the trailer once. I didn't watch it more than once. That was a thing there, but I can see your point. I think the movie, again, the thing with the Batman is, like, the more you watch it, the better it gets. I have to go finish. I'm actually going to end it right now, because I need to take out the trash, and everything else. But it's kind of like when I finish the Podio commentary on the Batman is recorded, I just got to write the intro, and that will be up tomorrow. And I talk, it's like a 48 minute long episode. So I talk about a lot of the movie. I kind of go through it, give my thoughts on it, what I like, what I don't like. Mostly it's what I like, because I figured that's kind of what I want to talk about. Talk about some themes and stuff and everything else. It's a beast of an episode, because it's a beast of a movie. So there's that one there. Also, Mo Moon, $2. Thanks, buddy. I'm writing Moonbreak, the sequel to Moonfall. Well, you better be careful, because you can end up getting a fair amount of in trouble for that one there, man. So let's see. When do I think we're going to get news of the Val Zod HBO Max? Probably Fandom or Comic-Con. I'm pretty sure we're going to get another Fandom. I think like 81 million people watched the last one, even though it was boring as all fucking hell. So yeah, Mark here is like, I finally made it as I'm ending the stream, because it's after midnight. I have some work to do and stuff. That being said, guys, I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow night. I'll probably be doing a bit of a late delivery night. Friday nights are kind of like that and stuff. If I am going to go live, it's probably going to be over on the Matt Jarbo channel, where we'll be doing like Boulder Talk. So keep an eye out for that one. And I appreciate everyone coming on by tonight. Thank you all so much. Have yourself a great night. Go see the Batman. Come back, listen to the Podio commentary. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you.